Hi children, today you are going to learn 8th class chapter number 8, that is exploring geometrical figures. Exploring geometrical figures, complete introduction about this chapter. Here we have might be seen a lot of geometrical figures around us. You may across many situations where we use the geometrical shapes. Suppose if you see a window of your house or not a classroom, the bars of windows in the rectangular shape are not maximum windows are in the rectangular shape. A rectangle is a geometrical figure. There are some houses, there will be some tiles which are in the shape of square shape. There will be some tiles which are in the rhombus shape. There are some shapes which are in the circle shapes. These are geometrical figures. Exploring geometrical figures. This is our chapter actually. So in this chapter mainly we are discussing about two words about congruent and similar. Congruent and similar. When we can say a two figures are congruent and when we can say a two figures are similar. A two figures are said to be a congruent if you keep one figure on the another figure, it should be occupy the same area without leaving a gap. They should be attached end to end. Like they should be on one upon another one. If you keep it, they should be occupy the same area and they are congruent. So congruent figures always will be having same in the size and also same in the shape. If a figure is having same size and same shape, they are called congruent. Then what is similarity? If they have same shape, same size, not in the shape, same shape, they will not be having different in the size also. In size. Same in the shape but different in the size. They are called similarity. Suppose I will draw here a triangle. There is a triangle ABC. Let us give the size of the triangle. Suppose 5 centimeter, 6 centimeter, and 7 centimeter. And there is a one more triangle here. Let us give a name of this triangle like a PQR. Let us give the measurements of this triangles also as a 5 centimeter, 6 centimeter, and 7 centimeter. Now here triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. This is congruent symbol. Here both the triangles are congruent because if you take a PQR triangle and keep on a ABC, it's occupy the same area. Okay. So what in the case of similarity? Suppose let's take a triangle ABC and let's take a triangle PQR. These two triangles are, to see, they are the same shape actually but different in the size. They are in the same shape but different in the size. So they are called as a similar triangles. Here triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Okay, here triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. If you want to say two triangles are similar, there are two conditions actually. The first condition is that their corresponding sides should be in the same ratio. Sides in same ratio. This corresponding side should be a same ratio. That means here AB is a corresponding side of PQ. Okay. Here AB by PQ, it should be equal to BC by QR, that equal to AC by PR is equal to, if you get same value, suppose here you take in the suppose a 10 centimeter and here 12 centimeter and here we are taking 14 centimeter. Suppose we are getting here 5 centimeter and 6 centimeter and here 7 centimeter. Let's see here 10 by 5 will give us 2 by 1, 12 by 6, that 10 by 5, 5 1 is 5 2, that equal to 2 by 1. Here 12 by 6, that equal to also 2 by 1. Here 14 by 7, that also gives us 2 by 1. The ratio will be the same. Their corresponding sides are in the same ratio, should be in the same ratio, and the second condition is that the corresponding angles should be equal. Corresponding angles should be equal. Then only we can say two triangles are similar. That means if angle A is equal to angle P and angle B is equal to angle Q and angle C is equal to angle R, then these two triangles are similar. So directly we cannot decide the two triangles are similar or not. So if they are in the same shape, we cannot say they are similar. This condition should also satisfy, then only we can say similar. But to tell orally, we can say that what is similarity in the sense, if a two figures having same in the shape but different in the size, they are called similar. But mathematically we need to prove that these two conditions, that if their corresponding sides should be in the same proportion or in the ratio and corresponding angle should be equal, then only these two conditions are satisfied, then only these two triangles are similar, or else they are not similar. This must and should satisfy two conditions also. If one of the condition is satisfied, if another condition is not satisfied, then it is not similar. Must and should, this both the conditions has to be satisfied, then only we can call similarity of triangles. Only corresponding sides are in the same proportion. If corresponding angles are not equal, as they are not similar. Suppose here a square and a rhombus, each having the side of 1 unit. Hence, are they similar in the sense? No, these two figures are not similar because their corresponding sides are in the same proportion, but their corresponding angles are not equal. In the square, the angles will be 90 degrees. In the rhombus, opposite angles will be equal. That's it. They will be not equal to 90 degrees. Here, corresponding sides in the same proportion in this 1 by 1, 1:1 only. But corresponding angles are not equal. Hence, they are not similar. If two figures are said to be similar, they should be their corresponding sides should be in the same proportion and the corresponding angle should be equal. So, based on this, we have a content like a scale factor. This will be also called as a scale factor. The scale factor, regarding this, we are going to be drawing relations also that we will learn in the further in this chapter itself. Okay, so here you must know that what is meaning of a congruent and what is meaning of a similar. So we know that the congruent in the sense they should be same shape and same size also. Correct size and same shape. Then only they are called as a congruent. And we learn that here important thing. So there is a one triangle here. So two are congruent to each other, or two are similar each other. These two triangles are congruent and similar. We move this triangle. Okay, we rotate this triangle, or not, we flip this triangle. Flip in the sense here, ABC triangle, we are moving here someplace, we are rotating ABC, We are flipping it. Flipping in the sense mirror image of it. Mirror image of it if you are getting it. Then A, C and B. The mirror image also will be always congruent or always similar. If this triangle ABC is congruent to this all, if you move or rotate or flip, they will be congruent itself. If triangle ABC, if you are moving or rotating or flip, that means mirror image, they are always similar. If you move or if you rotate or if you flip, the congruent or similar figures always they hold same thing. That means the congruent figures always congruent, the similar figure always similar. Suppose let me take one more question here to understand. There will be important here. All congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures are may not be a congruent. See that all congruent figures are all congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures may not be congruent. May not be congruent. Why I use may not be congruent in the sense I will tell you now. So let's take these two are congruent figures. Yes, here triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR because they have same shape and same the size also, because the length of the sides are equal. So this can also say these two triangles are similar also. These two triangles are similar also, because what we need, see the corresponding sides. 5 by 5 will give us 1:1, 6 by 6 will give us 1:1, 7 by 7 will give us 1:1. Their corresponding sides are equal and the corresponding angles also, if equal, corresponding sides equal and corresponding angles are equal. Hence here the congruent figures are similar. See that these are two are similar figures, but are they congruent? No, we cannot consider these two are congruent because they are similar but they are not congruent. All congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures are not congruent. There are some figures, similar figures like here. ABC, PQR. Suppose these two are similar, they are having same shape and same size. Okay, suppose here 5 cm, 6 cm and 7 cm. 5 cm, 6 cm and 7 cm. Angle A equal to angle P, angle B equal to angle Q, angle C equal to angle R. These two are similar. Then we can also say these two are congruent because they are having same size of sides and equal angles also. Hence these two triangles are similar. This is congruent also. Sometimes the similar figures are congruent. When they have same size and same shape, the similar figures are congruent. When you are reading a same size and same shape, itself is a congruent first. So remember only these things. All congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures are not congruent. There are some similar figures like this example. Suppose I have taken here triangle ABC similar to triangle PQR. In this condition, they are congruent. Yes. So you just remember, if you move or rotate or flip of a congruent figures, always a congruent. Here we can show. I can show you here. Here you can see some picture. We are moving it, rotating and flipped. So what can you say? Here these figures are called as a congruent figures. So in the case of similarity also we can say, if move it or rotate or flip, the similar figures always similar. Okay. And here there are some triangles are shown in the page number 186. Okay. Here triangles are moving or rotate or flipped, even though they are congruent. So you can see there are some angles here which are moving rotating and flipped, they are also congruent to each other. Here they have given in the next page, here they have given some figures. From this we need to be identify which are congruent figures. So here in this we have to identify which are congruent figures. Okay, let me explain you here. And figure number 1 and figure number 10 are congruent. Here figure number 2, 8, 6 are congruent. Similarly we need to choose which are the figures are congruent in the sense. Okay, which are the figures are similar, congruent. Okay, all congruent figures are similar, that you need to be remember. And next, here when two squares are said to be congruent when their sides are equal. Here a square PQRS and another square ABCD. If these two squares having equal length of side, then the two squares are congruent. It's when you can say two circles are congruent when they have equal radius, then two circles are congruent. If they have different in the radius, and they are not considered as a congruent. Here we can see the pictures. Okay, then there are some pictures are given below here. Here we need to be identify what are the congruent figures and what are the similar figures. Okay, here we can see the similar figures. So I will tell you some examples of similar figures and congruent figures. The pair of earrings of a girls are congruent. The pair of shoes of a child are congruent. The pair of bangles are congruent. The pair of socks of a shoes are congruent. Yes. The mathematical textbooks of a same class are congruent to each other. Suppose 8th class textbooks, you collect all 8th class textbook of your class, they are congruent to each other. Not only 8th class textbooks, you collect other subject textbooks also, they are congruent to each other. They are congruent, all congruent figures are similar. Whatever I told till now, the examples, they are similar also. The pair of earrings, pair of bangles, pair of shoes, pair of socks, pair of textbooks of a same class are similar also. So all congruent figures are similar. But all similar figures are may not be a congruent. This you need to be remembered. So sometimes they are congruent. Suppose I told you that pair of earrings of a girl are similar. They are congruent also. Pair of bangles are similar. They are congruent also. All congruent figures are similar, but all similar figures are not congruent. Sometimes in this case they are not congruent. But if I take a pair of bangles, they are similar, they are congruent also. In this condition they are congruent. Okay, then here you can see reduced or enlarged of a figures are always similar. Reducing or enlarged of a figures. Suppose you have a passport size photo of a passport size of photo. You have given in a flexi shop. You want to make it as a big flexi. You have given a small photo, but after doing a flexi, you will get a big picture. The big cutouts of a cinema pictures, cutouts nothing but a posters, reduced or enlarged. They will be enlarged by using some ratio. Sometimes if you go to a Xerox center and you have given a A4 size paper, if you ask him that you give me a small size of a mini Xerox, then he will reduce the ratio of the paper into 100 times or 150 times. Then he will give you the same matter in the small size of paper, mini Xerox we say. Hence they are similar to each other because the size is reduced by some ratio. Suppose we have given a small photo, you are doing it a big photograph, they are enlarging it. Hence they are similar. Reducing or enlarging of an object always similar. The reducing or enlarging of objects are known as a dilations actually. Regarding that also will be discussed in this video. And here, by standing at a rest position, here I will tell you that by standing at a rest position, how can we find out the height of an object? It's important. So here you are standing by one place in the ground in school ground. Suppose you are standing in a school ground and you want to find out the height of your school building. How can you find? Suppose you are standing at one place and you want to find out height of a tree. How can you find out? Then you are standing at somewhere place and you want to find out the height of your house. How can you find out? There is a formula here. So I will tell you that suppose you are standing here and you will be observing that this is your school building. Suppose let us assume this school building as a name of AB. You want to find out the height of this school building. How can you find out? See here, you will be observing from here. You are starting with some distance from the school building and you will be observing that the height of the school building. The top of the school building you are observing. The top of the school building you are observing. How will you be observing the sense? There will be some rules. So you stretch your hand. You hold something in your hand and observe that. Suppose I will be holding a pen and I am observing the height of the school building in such a way that this bottom and top of the pen should cover the bottom and top of the school building. In such a way you have to adjust your place and observe the top of the building with the top of this pen and bottom of this pen. It should cover simple. You stretch your hand or arm and observe this top should be covers the top of the building. This bottom should cover the bottom of the building. So you will be holding here and there is a height of an object here. Any object. Height of an object. Height of an object. Okay, that is school building. Now you can observe, see, you will be standing with some distance. Okay, here will be a view. This is A, B, C, D. You are in the position of E. Now I am telling you that how can you find out the height of a school building or height of a tree or height of a mountain or height of a lamp post or height of anything. Simple, you have to stand with some distance, you have to hold something in your hand, then you have to observe by stretching your hand. This top should be covers the top of an object for which you need to find out the height, and this bottom should be covers the bottom of that building. Okay, then you need to observe in that way. Simple. Then we'll be having a formula that is the height of an object equal to height of a school building here, height of school building, height of a school building equal to here AB. Okay, school building equal to what we need to do it in the sense the distance from a girl or boy to the building, the total distance from the distance from the total distance from boy to building by here the distance of arm. This distance also you should know that distance of arm we say this distance of your hand, nothing but distance of your hand into height of an object which you hold in the hand. Height of an object. Height of an object which you hold in the hand. So simply I will write in the numerical terms. See, I want to find out the height of the school building, that is AB. That equal to AE is the total distance. AE by, here this is the distance of a arm, nothing but the distance of a hand till here. That is CE into height of an object, that is CD. So by this formula we can find out the height of any object. Suppose you are standing with some distance, you are standing in a ground of your school and observing, keeping a pen or pencil in the hand or scale in the hand. You are observing the top of the building and bottom of the building with this. So you want to find out the height of the building. So what you have to know it, the distance from you to school building you have to write here. Then the distance of hand you have to write here. Then the height of this object you have to write here, and simplify, you will get height of the building or height of the tree or height of the mountain, whatever you imagine, but process is same. Okay, this you need to be remember. Okay, next thing we discuss about some more things in this exercise. Lot of things are there to be discussed. In the very short form, to cover this chapter, I am explaining you only the important things of this chapter. I hope you can understand. Yes. Then this is what here the picture till now what I said. Yes, you go through this page so that you can understand. Next, there are some more questions based on that. Here, you got here relations. Dilation. Dilation is nothing but a reducing or enlarging of an object is called dilations by using some scale factor. Reducing or enlarging an object is called dilations by using some scale factor. What is scale factor in the sense I will tell you. Suppose you know the graph paper everybody. You know the graph paper everybody. In the graph we will be having here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is a x-axis. The vertical line will be known as a y-axis. X dash and it is y dash. Suppose you have a square here. Here we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Then you have a square. See, I am drawing a dilation of this square. Dilation of a square. Okay. So what we have to do it? This square having a unit 1, here 1 unit, here 1 unit, here 1 unit. So here 1 unit, here also 1 unit distance, 1 to 2 and 1 to 2, 1 to 2. So here all the sides are equal. I would like to draw the dilation of this. So let me give a name of this A, B, C and D. I would like to draw a dilation of this by using some scale factor. By using a scale factor. Okay, here how can you draw here? Simple. So if it is a graph paper, you will be understand more better. Okay, then here I will give you a picture which is shown in the textbook at page number 194. You can see here clearly what is called dilation. Okay, then if you this dots will says that here in the textbook you can go for very clearly again. Okay, if you wanna draw a scale factor of 2, you need a scale factor. Scale factor in the sense it should be enlarged by 2 units, like, so we have to go with the start with here. Suppose here I'll start with the same units. We have to start. Okay, here I'll start. Two units we have to take. Then it should cover. If it is a graph paper, I will show you more better way. So what I am going to do it here. Everything I will show you in the graph. This particular problem I will show you in the graph paper. Here, this is called dilation. If you observe, this is, you can see here, there is a one rectangle. Actually, he has taken a rectangle. A, B, C, D is a rectangle. A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash is a enlarged rectangle. To know the scale factor, what to do it? What will be the scale factor of this? Here it is. OA dash by OA. OA dash, how many units are there from O to A dash? Here you give the name here, A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash. Okay. O to A dash, the distance. Okay, if it is a graph, you will understand more better. Okay, I will be drawing here. Okay, then here, this is A dash, this is B dash, this is C dash, and this is D dash. Here OA dash by OA, that will be equal to OB dash by OB. This will be equal to OC dash by OC and OD dash by OD. It gives the same 2 by 1, 2 by 1, 2 by 1, 2 by 1 only. The distance from OA, we have to see the units, number of units in the graph paper. How many units are there? There are 2 units here. Okay. Then here by OA equal to 1 unit. Here, then the OA here had taken 3 units. Here 3. So if I had to go for this particular diagram, here it is a 3 by 1. 3 units have started. Okay. Similarly, everything will come the same. 3 by 1, 3 by 1, 3 by 1. So in the graph paper, easily you can construct the dilations. You can draw the dilations. It should contain the same scale factor. Here they have given about the scale factor, enlarged distance by the smaller diagram, that means before diagram length. OA dash by OA, OB dash by OB, OC dash by OC, OD dash by OD. Enlarged or reduced figures are known as a dilations. Here construction of dilations are given here. How to construct the dilations? See, how to construct the dilation. Suppose there is a triangle here. Suppose I have drawn a triangle here. I would like to construct the dilation of this. If it is enlarged like this, if I enlarge like this, then I can go for drawing dilations. Enlarged figures or reduced figures. So as they have done here the same way, you can go through the same page again, 194. Here the steps clearly they have given, step 1, step 2, step 3, how to construct the dilations. Okay, here we go for page number. Now exercise directly. These are the things we are going to be discussing this exercise. Actually in the 8.1 we will be only discussing about the congruent of the figures and similar of the figures and about the relations and about some more other topics. In the 8.1, the first question is that Name the 5 pair of congruent objects used daily. Okay, congruent object which you use daily. Pair of earrings, pair of bangles, pair of shoes. Like this, you can write any number of examples which you use it. A mathematical textbooks of a same class. Okay, they are congruent, and you can write some more things which are congruent to each other in your day-to-day life. Okay, draw two congruent figures. Are they similar? Explain. Yes, 2a is the second question there. Draw two congruent figures. I will draw the two congruent figures here. I will draw a b c. Here I will go for a p q r. Here AB equal to 5 centimeter, BC equal to suppose 6 centimeter, AC equal to suppose 7 centimeter. I will be taking the same measurements because they should be in the same size and same shape. Then only we can say that your triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. Here AB is equal to PQ, that equal to 5 centimeter. Here BC is equal to QR, that equal to 6 centimeter. Here AC is equal to PR, that equal to 7 centimeter, and therefore we can say that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle PQR. These two triangles are congruent. Are they similar in the sense? Yes, they are similar also. Okay, they are similar also. Okay, why? Explain. Okay, their corresponding sides will be in the same proportion. Yes, all congruent figures are similar. All congruent figures are similar. Then explain is said. Yes, we can explain because they are having same their corresponding sides. Corresponding sides will be in the same ratio. Let us see. AB by PQ, what will give us? 5 by 5, that equal to 1:1. BC by QR, that equal to 6 by 6, that equal to 1 by 1. AC by here PR, that equal to also 1:1 only. So the corresponding sides are equal and corresponding angles. The corresponding angle here, angle A equal to angle P. Here angle B equal to angle Q. Angle C equal to angle R. Hence, the triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. Your triangle ABC is similar to triangle PQR. So, take two similar shapes. If you side or rotate or flip one of them, does the similarity remain the same? Yes. If you take any similar shapes, any two similar shapes, if you have to just if you slide it, that means just you move it, or if you rotate it, or if you flip it, they are always similar. I already shown you the figures how they show it. The same examples you can write here in the page number 186. From this two, anyone you can write as an answer of B1 in the second question. Any one diagram you can draw it. Here if you move or slide it, rotate or flip, hence its congruence rule or in the similar rule will be remains the same. That means they will be similar only. Either you move or rotate or flip it, always they all the similar rule. Okay, next. So here the question number 3 will be Similar now. So the question number 2 only. Just now we have done. Let me take one more time. If triangle ABC is congruent to triangle NMO. Triangle ABC is said. Let's draw the triangle ABC here. ABC triangle and NMO. Okay. Triangle ABC is similar to triangle NMO. So I already given that. Given that triangle ABC is congruent to triangle NMO, then we need to write here congruent sides and angles. The congruent sides, okay, let's show the congruent. These two are congruent sides. Here I have written a bonds in the sense these sides are equal, single bond, double bond and triple bonds. Congruent sides are here AB is equal to NM, AB equal to NM, and BC is equal to MO, and AC is equal to NO. And congruent angles, the congruent angles here, angle A equal to angle N, angle B equal to angle M, angle C equal to angle O. This is what. And next we go for some more questions. Question number 4. State whether the following statement are true. Explain with a reason. So I will tell you the reason. You need to be listen very carefully and note it down in the notes so that you can understand what I am telling you. Two squares are side 3 centimeters. Two squares. First question. Two squares. Here I have taken two squares of side 3 centimeters each. 3 centimeter each. One of them rotate 45 degrees are congruent. So there are two squares, they are rotated just 45 degrees both. Are they congruent is said? Yes, they are congruent. It is a true statement only. If you rotate or flip or move, the congruent rule will be remains the same, and also similar rule also will be remains the same only. Okay. If you move or rotate or flip, the congruent rule will not be changes, it will be same. Any two right angles with a hypotenuse 5 centimeter are congruent. Any two right angles, here two right angles 90 degrees and 90 degrees of hypotenuse 5 centimeter and 5 centimeter. Are they congruent? Yes, they will be congruent only, because the sum of these squares will give us hypotenuse 5 in the sense definitely there will be one more side 3 and 4. The other two sides will be 3 and 4. Then only the hypotenuse will get 5. So these two triangles are congruent. Yes. Any two circles of radius 4 centimeter are congruent. Yes. There are two circles with the radius are equal to 4 centimeters. Are they congruent in the sense? Yes, they are congruent. It is a true statement again. Then the fourth question. Two equilateral triangle with a side 4 centimeter each, but labeled ABC and LHN are not congruent is it? No, they will be congruent. Here triangle ABC and triangle LHN are side of 4 centimeter each. 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter and 4 centimeter. Here also 4 centimeter, 4 centimeter and 4 centimeter. Are they not congruent it seems? No, they will be a congruent only. He said not congruent. So it is a false because they are triangle ABC is congruent to triangle LHN. These both are congruent. But given that they are not congruent. So that's why it is a false statement. Now next the question number 5. The question number 5 here. The mirror image of a polygon is congruent to original. Yes, the mirror image of a polygon will be congruent to original one. Yes, here A, B, C. The mirror image of it. The mirror will be there here. Then it will be shown like this. B, A and C. Will be congruent? Absolutely, they will, both are congruent only. They are not different. Okay. Then these are the things. Draw a polygon on the squares dot sheet. Draw the congruent figures with the different directions and mirror image of it. Draw a polygon and square dot sheets. Okay, we have drawn a square dot sheet. In the sense, you know already what is a square dot sheet. So oblique sketches. About oblique sketches and isometric sketches, you have already know about the oblique and isometric sketches. They should contain say equal distance between the dots. Okay, if I put a dots like this, it takes say much time, so I am making you understand this. This is called a square dot sheet. Between the every two dots there should be a equal distance. This is called a square dot sheet. So you do it, how many points you require again? Draw a polygon, a square on dot sheet, square dot sheets. Okay, I'll be going for a drawing a square here. I'll be going for a square. Make a square that it should be 2, 1, 2. Yes. This dot should be in the equal place. Then here you put a scale or something, say that this should be having equal distance between them. Then you can see the square there. Then draw the congruent figure in the different directions. Draw the congruent figures in the different directions. So you go for a different directions again. Even if you go for a different direction also, it gives the same, like, in the different directions. You draw directions and mirror image of it. Suppose it is A, B, C, D, and we have one here A and B and C and D, and mirror image of it. Mirror image it also, you just go for a mirror image of it. Okay, just mirror image of it. B, A, here, C and D you get. Okay, this mirror image of it. So I'll show you one picture here which they have done already on the square dot sheet. And the square dot sheet, here you can see the square dot sheet figures. You can take an example of this chapter, completely practical chapter. This you need to do it, because I cannot draw the graph on the board. I cannot do the square dot sheet particularly on the board within a time. So I hope you can do it here by watching this example. So see that there are here some pictures. Square is there here, figure number 4, a square. And see, in this way you can draw the square. There are some more figures which they have written in the rotated way, or they have mirror image of it. Everything is there in this. So you take a square in this and just you rotate and draw the same square, and mirror image of it also you draw on this. This is called as a square dot sheet. Okay, it's called as a dot sheet. In this way you have to write in your notes. Just put the dots of equal distance and do it. Oblique sketches, we can say that oblique or isometric sketches. Oblique sketches or isometric sketches we have learned in our 7th class. So these are the isometric sketches, we can say isometric sketches. Oblique sketches in the sense we go for a line boxes. You might be get numbers in this. Okay, these are the oblique sketches. In this if you draw a square, that is called oblique sketch. So on this if you draw a square, it is called isometric sketches. Okay, I hope you understood what is isometric sketch and oblique sketch. Then we go for the 6th one. This 6th one also, see that you need to be do by your own. I'll show you the picture here using a square dot sheet or a graph sheet. You have given a chance either square dot sheet, isometric sketch or graph paper. You better use the graph paper. Draw a rectangle and construct a similar figure. You draw a rectangle on that and construct a similar figure. In the similar figure, find the perimeter and area of both and compare the ratios and ratio of their corresponding sides. So suppose if you are going for question number 6, solution, and a graph, if you are drawn a rectangle, okay, there will be one more rectangle here which I have seen you, I have shown you dilation. It is nothing but in the type of a dilation type of question only. I have shown you the figure. Once again I will show you that. In the same way you have to draw it here. See, the just before page you have this you need to write. Okay, then after drawing that, what we need to do is see, find the perimeter and areas of the both and compare their ratios. Okay, so suppose we'll take this a rectangle with 2 centimeter, L equal to 2 centimeter and breadth equal to 1 centimeter. Here L equal to 4 centimeter and breadth equal to 2 centimeter suppose. This is A, B, C, D will take. This is A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash will take. So now we go for the solution. You have to write here the perimeter of A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash by perimeter of A, B, C, D. Perimeter of ABC. The perimeter formula here 2 of L plus B. Here also you get 2 of L plus B. But here length and breadth are different. Here 2 of length equal to 4 centimeter. A dash, B dash, C dash. Length 2, breadth 2. Sorry, length 4, breadth 2. 2 centimeters. Sorry, 4 centimeter plus 2 centimeter by 2 of length 2 centimeter, breadth 1 centimeter here. 2 centimeter plus 1 centimeter. This gives us that, see, 2 get cancelled here. It is 6 centimeter by 3 centimeter. Centimeter cancel, 3 ones are 3 twos are. That is equal to 2:1 ratio. The perimeters of their figures are in the ratio 2:1. Then the areas are also here. Find the perimeter and area. Area of rectangle A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash by area of rectangle ABCD. You know that area formula A into L into B and also here L into B. Here L in the sense 4 centimeter, breadth is 2 centimeter. By here 2 centimeter into 1 centimeter. 2 fours are 8 centimeter square by here 2 centimeter square. 2 ones are 2 fours are. Centimeter cancel, 4:1. The areas will be in the ratio of 4:1. And when you see their length of their sides, length of the sides, the sides of A dash, B dash, C dash and D dash by length of the side of A, B, C, D. Okay, what's the length here? 4 centimeter. And here what is the length in the smaller rectangle? 2 centimeter. So 2 ones are 2 twos are. That is also 2:1. We got the ratios. See, compare the ratios. The perimeter, the ratio of the perimeters of two rectangles is equal to the length of the sides of two rectangles. And the areas is twice than this radius. The twice will be. Okay, their squares. If you do the square of this both, you get their ratios. 2 square and 1 square. We will get 2 square 4, 1 square is 1. So the ratios will be like this. See, we have to draw the rectangle on square dot sheet. Then we have to do this procedure completely. So this is completely sixth solution. And whatever he asked in the question, we have done it. So just look at that. Then there is a seventh question here. I will be covering only exercise number 8.1 in this in this video. So there is a one picture here. If you see clearly, here it is M. It is M, and here it is. I will draw the first here this way. Then I go for how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Total 7 are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. Here M, N, M, L, K are not here. O, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N. In this way they are given. The height of the last pillar is given 10.5 meters. The height of the last pillar is given 10.5 meters, and the distance between the each pillar is 1 meter. Here also 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter, 1 meter. Okay. Then we have to see that. See, the 7 pillars are used to be hold on a slant iron rod guarded as shown in the figure. These 7 pillars are kept, okay, in this way. The distance between the adjoining 2 pillars is 1 meter. The distance between the one pillar, the distance between the pillars is 1 meter. Okay. Then, and the height of the last pillar is 10.5 meters. Then find the height of the rest of pillars. That means remaining 6 pillars height we need to find. Only gave the pillar height of the last pillar. So we can find out. See here, the height of the first pillar. Height of first pillar equal to what I said. See, the height of the first pillar here. We need to do it. Here it is the 1 meter distance, 1 by 7 into here 10.5 meters. This is the first pillar. Out of these 7 pillars into 7, 10.5. Here 7 ones are 7. How many left? 3. Okay, point you write here. The 3 become 35. 7 5s are 35. That means 1.5 meter. The height of the first pillar is 1.5 meters. Then the height of the second pillar is equal to, here second pillar, the first pillar in the 1 meter of distance. Then the second pillar is 1 meter and 1 meter. It is a 2 meters of distance. So 2 by 7 into 10.5 meters. As we have cancelled here, we got a 1.5 actually. So here we get 2 into 1.5 meters, it will give us 3 meters. Then the height of third pillar, same again, 3 by 7 into 10.5 meters. 7 ones are 7, 1.5 are. Hence you get here 3 into 1.5 meters, that equal to 4.5 meters. Hence next the height of fourth pillar equal to 4 by 7 into 10.5 meters. 7 ones are 7, 1.5 are, that equal to here next 4 into 1.5 meters, that equal to here 6 meters. Then the height of the fifth pillar equal to 5 by 7 into 10.5 meters. 7 ones are 7, 1.5 meters, that equal to 5 into 1.5 meters, that equal to 7.5 meters. Yes. Then the height of the sixth pillar, that equal to 6 by 7 into 10.5 meters. 7 ones are 7, 1.5 meters, 10.5, that equal to 6 into 1.5 meter, that equal to here 9 meters. These are the height of the pillars, the height of the remaining pillars. See. Yes, these are the height of the remaining pillars. So in this way we can find out this. So we have 2 more questions in this exercise. We'll be discussing about these 2 more questions. Okay, the 2 questions are based on the scale factors only. You need to be use a graph paper, I think so. Let's see. Oh no, one question is based on this again. We need to draw it. Finding height of an object concept. 8th solution. Look at here, 8th solution is that standing 5 meters apart from a vertical pole of height 3 meters. The Sudha observed behind a pillar, found that the tip of the pillar is lying with the top of the building. The distance between the pillar and building is 10 meters. Estimate the height of the building. So there is a here building. Here there is a building. Let us name of this building as a AB. We need to find out the height of this building actually. Okay. Sudha was standing somewhere here. Behind the pillar, there is one pillar here. Of height h equal to 3 meters, and behind the pillar she was standing here somewhere. Yes, she is observing that this from the top of the pillar to top of the building. She is observing from here at this position from the top of the pillar to top of the building, and from the bottom of the building. From the bottom of the pillar to bottom of the building. So AB, and this we give as a CD. Here CD is nothing but a pillar, and it is a E. E is a position of a Sudha. Sudha is here. Sudha was standing at E and observed the building from the behind of a pillar to touches the pillar's edges. So she was 5 meters apart from a pillar. From the pillar, she was 5 meters apart, and the distance between Sudha to building is 10 meters. The distance between Sudha to building is what? 10 meters. Yes. So now see that if the distance between the pillar and building is 10 meters, sorry. The distance between the question is given that the distance between this distance is given 10 meters. The distance between the building and pillar is 10 meters. Sudha is standing 5 meters apart from the pillar. Okay, we need to find out the height of the building. Height of building. So already I told you how to find out the height of the building. Simple. The total distance here, the total distance from the building to Sudha, the total distance from building to Sudha by the distance of arm, the distance from the Sudha to pillar, the distance from Sudha to pillar into height of an object, nothing but a height of the pillar. Height of the pillar. Here the total distance is here 5 centimeter plus 10 centimeter is 5 meters plus 10 meters is 15 meters, and the distance from the Sudha to pillar is 5 meters into height of the pillar is 3 meters. Here meter get cancelled. 5 ones are 5 threes are as 3 into 3 meters, that equal to 9 meters. Therefore the height of the building is equal to 9 meters. The height of the building is 9 meters. So I hope you understood. Okay, this is the formula. The total distance from Sudha to building by the distance of arm we have calculated at that time. The distance from the object to Sudha and the height of the pillar into height of the pillar. That is the way we can find out the height of any object. And question number 9 and last question of this exercise. Draw the quadrilateral of any measurement. You need to draw one quadrilateral here. Where we have to draw and how we have to draw will be giving here. Draw a quadrilateral of any measurement. Construct dilation. I told you how to construct the dilation. I have shown you the graph in the textbook itself. It is present at 8.5 before in the page. So that is in the page number 194. There is a dilations you can see. They are drawn a rectangle. Of scale factor 3 is set. So measure their corresponding sides and verify whether they are similar or not. Definitely they will be similar only. The dilations always will be similar. So here you can see a dilation of a rectangle. You also draw any polygon is set. He said that draw any quadrilateral. Draw any quadrilateral. You use a quadrilateral rectangle only. You take a rectangle, same example you take it. Here rectangle. You draw the dilation for the rectangle. But make sure that here scale factor is 2. Here scale factor is 2. OA dash by OA equal to 2 by 1. That is scale factor is 2. But you have to take scale factor is 3. See that from O to, that means 0 to A dash, nothing but here O to A dash is 2 units is taken. 1 and 1. There will be 2 units. That similarly you have to take 3 units. That's it. If you take it 3 units, how it is enlarged? That you need to think. So just here they have taken a scale factor 2 units. We have to draw the same with a scale factor of 3 units. O to A dash we have to take 3 units. The length and breadth is your wish. As for this example, you draw a dilation on the graph paper. On graph paper only you do it so that you can understand very easily. Okay, but scale factor we have to take what? 3 units. Here O to A dash is 2 and O to A is 1. 2 by 1 is 2. And here O to B dash is 6. Here O2 B dash is 6 by OB is 3. 6 by 3 again 2. Again let's see. O2 C dash is 6 and O2C is 3 units. If you see the boxes, the units, each and every box is known as one unit. If you see the units of OA dash, OB dash, OC dash by OD dash, this OD dash, by their similar, the original figure if you divide, you get the scale factor always 2. That means here 2 by 1, here 6 by 3, 6 by 3, again here 2 by 1. This you observe, the scale factor will get 2 in this, but we have to get the scale factor of 3. In that way we have to construct a relation. I hope you can understand this and do the textbook very carefully how to draw the relation here. Or not, you can download the PDF of this mathematical textbook of class 8. If at all you have a textbook, you just go through the textbook page number 194. There you can see the relation of a quadrilateral rectangle here with a scale factor of 2. But you need to be construct according to the exercise question of a scale factor 3. Okay, this is our exercise number 8.1. In the 8.2, it will be very important to be learned, because there we are going to be learning about the symmetry. What is, how many types of symmetries are there and what are they? What is rotational symmetry? What is the point symmetry and what is axis of symmetry and what is the order of symmetry? Okay, what is the angle of symmetry, angle of rotation, order of rotation, everything we are going to be learn. And there are some more interesting topics in the exercise number 8.2. So till that time you practice 8.1. First you write all the key points from this what I told you before. Or not, at end of this textbook you will be having what we have discussed points. You go through that all the what we have discussed points from the end of this chapter in the textbook. Then you start this chapter, write exercise number 8.1. Then problem by problem I have explained everything that you complete in the notes, so that you will be getting a lot of idea. I hope you understood everything here. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Bye.